guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is AshleyElyse. So this week I wanted to film Novalee's 1 month update and just kind of update you guys on everything that's been going on with her. But I also wanted to insert a couple of little blips as well on some different appointments that I've had going on this week, just kind of keep you guys updated on that as well instead of doing like a whole separate video. So to start out, we're going to talk about my appointment that I had yesterday. Today is Tuesday, and on Monday, which was yesterday, I had my 1 week-ish post-op follow-up for my gallbladder, and I saw my surgeon. Everything went really well. He said everything's healing great. When they removed my gallbladder, he said that they actually found over 30 stones in my gallbladder. So that would explain why I was so incredibly sick and in so much pain. So yeah, just a little update on that. I no longer have any weight restrictions and I don't have any food restrictions, so I'm welcome to eat whatever I want. Because I had the hernia, he did say that I guess usually when they repair the hernias, they use mesh usually to kind of like patch it up. So the hernia is like a little hole. They use mesh to patch it up. However, because they were removing my gallbladder, he did not use mesh and they just stitched it because the mesh apparently can trap a lot of bacteria and cause an infection. And so they chose not to go that route, which is fine by me. The last thing I need is an infection on top of everything else that was going on. So they, I guess he said because they did not use the mesh, there's a higher chance of the hernia coming back. He didn't say that he was too worried about it. He said he's not really concerned. But basically just my instructions were, you know, you don't have any weight restrictions. However, if things start hurting, your sites start hurting, your, let me switch hands here. Sorry guys, my arm's fallen asleep. Anyway, so if things start hurting or if I feel like, you know, my sites are hurting or I feel like pain or anything like that, then to just stop doing that. So that's kind of the plan for that. And then he did say just, excuse me, to watch out for like a little bulge that's painful. He said if that happens, come back, see me, we'll fix it. So that's kind of your guys' update on that. We are actually about to leave. I'm about to wake up little Miss Novalee to go to her 1 month appointment, which is today. So I'm going to wake her up, get her diaper changed, get her fed, give her her medication, and then we're going to go to that appointment. And then I will update you guys after that and then do the rest of the information. So, yeah. Oh, my little munchkin, are you ready for your appointment? She's just kind of waking up a little bit. She knows it's almost time to eat. So she's wearing her cute little Minnie Mouse onesie. This is her 0 to 3. It says Wild Child on it. It's so cute. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to put that little black bow on her to go with her little outfit. So cute. Oh, my battery's flashing. Alright guys, I will update you guys after her 1 month appointment. Hi everybody. Alright, so we are now back from Novalee's 1 month appointment. And she is doing wonderfully. She's doing really, really well. She currently weighs 8 pounds 4 ounces, which is great. When we first brought her home from the hospital and we saw her pediatrician, she had lost enough weight that they were a little bit concerned about her gaining weight. So they had us come back for a few different weight checks after that for a couple days before the weekend to make sure that she was gaining enough that it wasn't going to be a concern over the weekend. So we did finally get that figured out. She didn't need any special help or anything. She was just a little bit behind at first and they were a bit concerned because of how early she was. But she's doing real good now. They're not concerned about her weight at all. She is gaining just as she should be. She is in the 20th percentile for her weight, and then for her height, she's in the 22nd percentile. So they said she's doing really, really well, and we don't have anything to worry about there. When we first brought her home, and I may have mentioned this before, I'm not quite sure, but I just want to give you guys an overall update, basically on everything since we brought her home up until her 1 month appointment today. So that was basically her situation with her weight. When we first brought her home, we had to have a Billy bed. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but basically it's just light therapy for babies that are born with jaundice. She wasn't born with jaundice, however, her bilirubin levels were not really where they wanted them to be. They were a little bit too high, and so they wanted to go ahead and start her on therapy while she was in the hospital. In the hospital, she was on the Billy blanket, which she really enjoys being swaddled and held. She doesn't like to feel free, so that worked out really, really well. But when we brought her home and we had to do the Billy bed, she absolutely hated it because she couldn't have any clothing on. She could only have her diaper. She couldn't have any blankets because then basically the way the bed is set up is there's the bed on the bottom, and then there is kind of like a little curtain type thing. It's not really a curtain, but something like that. That kind of covers basically their face to make sure that the light doesn't cause any damage to their eyes. So because of that, and the light is like up above it, because of that, they want to make sure that, like I said, their eyes are protected. And so in order for the light to work, they can't be covered. And she absolutely hated that. We woke up probably every 30 minutes, maybe max, that first night with just her screaming her head off because she hated it so much. It was so hard to get her to go back to sleep. The only time we were really allowed to take her out of the bed was to change her diaper and feed her. So that really, really sucked. She just wanted to be held and comforted. She wanted to be warm while she was sleeping, and it wasn't great because the bed was sort of heated in some like indirect way, but it wasn't enough that she was very happy with it, and she was not swaddled, which was her comfort, and she hated that. So the next day we were able to go and see her pediatrician. Her numbers had not changed enough that they were really concerned about her levels anymore, so they told us we didn't need to do the Billy bed. Actually, they had us basically do it for 6 more hours for that day, and then they said that after that we could stop it for the weekend, recheck her numbers the following day, or the following Monday because it was on a Friday, and then we could kind of see where she was at and see if she needed the bed anymore. When we came in that Monday, they looked at her color and said that she's looking really good. She didn't need the bed anymore or any additional testing or anything like that, which was great because every time... Sorry about that, getting a phone call. Anyway, so every time that we had to go and see her pediatrician, we then had to go to the hospital where she was born at to get blood tests done to test the bilirubin levels. And for those of you guys who also have had babies with jaundice, the way they test that is through a blood test, and they have to poke the bottom of the baby's heel, and then they have to basically like squeeze the blood out. The first time she screamed bloody murder the whole entire time. She didn't bleed very fast, and so she was just miserable. And I want to say it was probably, I don't know, a good 15-20 minutes just to get enough blood for what they needed to be able to do the test. So that was absolutely miserable. The second time we went back, we had a different lady that did the test, and she actually used like a heat pack on her foot, which increases like the blood flow, which makes everything easier on the baby basically. So that one, she cried, but it wasn't quite as bad. It wasn't as long. It didn't take us as much time. And then the following test was the same way, which was great. So they did test those levels. Everything went back to, or I guess didn't increase enough for it to be a concern. They looked at her skin and they said she looks good. Basically, the last thing of jaundice, the last piece that goes away is the eyes, the whites of the eyes. So she had some yellowing in there and a little bit in her face, but other than that, everything else had pretty much returned to normal color. Just a nice real pink color, the color that babies should be. Then about, I don't know, probably Tuesday, Wednesday last week, I want to say. I don't know. At some point within the last couple of weeks, she started having issues eating. Basically, every time we were feeding her, she would throw up. And I'm not talking like a little bit of spit up like babies do when they're being fed and things like that. I'm talking like throw up, like a good amount, like a good portion of the food that she was being fed. And so at first I didn't really think anything of it. I thought it was just normal spit up, but then it started to increase and it started to happen every time she was being fed. And then she started crying while she was eating. So she wanted to eat, but then she just started crying. No matter how much we burped her, no matter the position that we fed her in, it didn't make a difference. So I ended up calling the pediatrician and just asking, you know, I don't know that this is normal. I want to know if we need to bring her in. So they went ahead and scheduled us an appointment for the next morning. We took her in and they did say that she has reflux. It's not like a severe case or anything, but they put her on Zantac, which is a medication that helps with reflux, and she has done so well on it. Basically, since she has started the medication, she's only thrown up twice. Versus when she was eating each and every single time. So that's been amazing. She doesn't cry anymore while she's eating. She cries when she has to burp because she wants to just keep eating. But it's done really well. We feed her sitting upright instead of laid back, and then we just keep her upright for about half an hour after she eats her food. And that really, between, you know, all of that, that really seems to help. So that is going really, really well now. The pediatrician wants to go ahead and keep her on that since she's doing really well. And then we're just going to kind of revisit at her 2-month appointment and see how things are going. So that's the little update for that. Other than that, she's actually very healthy. We haven't had any issues. She is just now actually starting to grow out of the newborn clothing. She's been wearing newborn since she was born. And today is her second day actually in 0 to 3 month clothing, which is fantastic. We're very excited about that, and she looks so adorable today. So other things that I want to update you guys on. So she hates diaper changes. They are like torture to her, apparently. It doesn't matter. We have like a wipe warmer that we got, which kind of helped a little bit at first. She didn't seem to mind it quite as much, but she quickly went right back to screaming her head off every single time her diaper is changed. We've tried changing her diaper while giving her a pacifier, and it has not made a difference. So if any of you guys have any suggestions on how to help that, I am all ears. Please feel free to leave a comment down in the comments below and let me know what you guys have tried with your children or recommendations you guys might have to help with that. Also, if any of you guys have had children with reflux or know someone who has, and how they were able to kind of remedy that situation and kind of help their baby out, I'm also all ears to hear on that as well. Feel free, again, to leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys and see what your guys' thoughts are on all of that. So anyway, yeah, very curious about that. Like I said, we have tried the wipe warmer, which kind of has seemed to help, but not enough. We've tried changing her on like, because our changing table is a little bit stiff, and so we thought, okay, well, maybe if we change her on like a really soft blanket, that might help. It doesn't. We've tried changing her while playing music. in like the restaurants and stuff like that, when we change her, she really seems to like the really loud music, but we've tried that at home and it doesn't seem to make a difference. I've tried giving her like a little rattle or something to hold in her hand, or trying to distract her, talk to her, sing to her. We've tried pretty much everything and it doesn't really work. She still is screaming her head off. So any thoughts, recommendations you guys have, I would love to hear it. She does love music. That's also something we have discovered. She really enjoys loud music, not like, you know, soft, quiet music, lullabies, things. She just likes the loud music. I'm pretty sure that's probably because of the praise and worship at our church that she heard while she was in my belly. It's very loud and we love it that way. So she seems to really, really, really enjoy that. Other updates. So for us, we don't have her on a sleeping schedule. Some of the moms that I follow, they do the sleeping schedule. They started really early. We have not. We've had a lot of trouble because of the reflux and the bilirubin and all of that stuff, getting her to sleep. We've just recently been able to get her to sleep on her back in her crib, in her Halo sleep swaddle, which she actually really loves. So now she's doing really great with that. But for a while she had to co-sleep with me. And I know everybody's opinions on that and how dangerous it is and everything. And I'm very well aware. Don't worry. So don't come for me in the comments. But, you know, as a mom, you just kind of have to do what you have to do sometimes. And so for us, the only way we could get her to sleep without being so uncomfortable from the reflux or because of the bilirubin in bed was to hold her. So I would fall asleep sitting, you know, decently upright, and she would fall asleep just like this on me. And we would sleep like that between feedings and changings and all of that, and it worked well for us. But we have since transitioned her, like I said, into her crib, and she's doing really good. We are still feeding her every 3 hours throughout the day anyway. When we first brought her home, they said that we had to make sure we woke her up every 3 hours because she was early, and because of how early she was, basically babies that are born that early prefer to sleep versus eat. So if you don't wake them up to feed them, they will sleep through and then they starve. So we, you know, did the every 3 hours, and then since then we've been able to change that up a little bit and go every 3 hours throughout the day. And then at night she can go anywhere between 4 to 6 hours between a feeding. She hasn't made it to the 6 hour mark yet. She's still going about 4 hours between feedings, I would say, on average. A couple of times she's gone about 5 hours, but that's been her longest streak. And then throughout the day, like I said, we're doing every 3 hours, and we're just letting her sleep when she sleeps. And she actually sleeps quite a bit. Just recently has she really started to be more awake and alert. She was very tired at first because the bilirubin levels, when they're high like that, they can make them very sleepy and drowsy. So that was kind of like a factor in the beginning, but now she's starting to wake up more and be more awake and alert, like I said. So yeah. Any other updates? Let me think. She does really well in the car. We've had quite a few doctor's appointments that we've had to go to for herself and myself. Oh, hey baby girl. What's up? Anyway, so she does really well in the car. She does not mind her car seat most of the time. If she spent a lot of time in it, then she starts to get really fussy and she's not a big fan. But, she does really good other than that. Oh yeah? Sorry about that. Anyway, so she does really well in the car. Huh. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Where are you going? Up to this point, we have not been able to do tummy time with her because of the reflux and the other issues that were going on. But we are about to start, and she has already kind of started her tummy time since we've spent so much time with her just kind of being on our chest like this. And so she's got some really great neck muscles, in case you couldn't tell from her squirming and moving around. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I know. Anyway, so that's kind of the update as of right now for her 1 month. We will be going back in a month to get her shots and get her vaccinated. Yes, we will be doing vaccinations. We are strong believers in that. So we will definitely be doing that. And then at that point, she'll be a little over 2 months. And then I already have talked with her pediatrician. We are going to pierce her ears. I asked her kind of what her thoughts were on that, and she said that they really like to wait until after they've had their tetanus shot, just in case. So at her 2-month appointment, she'll get her tetanus shot, and then about 2 weeks later, she can have her ear piercing done. So if you guys have any recommendations for where to go for infant ear piercing, please also let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear your guys' feedback. We are located in Colorado, so if you are out of state, I don't plan on traveling to get this done, but we will be doing 14 karat gold earrings for her because both my mom and myself have very, very sensitive ears, and the only kind of earrings we can wear are 14 karat gold, otherwise our ears get infected. So we are going to go ahead and do the 14 karat gold just in case she has managed to pick up that trait as well. And then just so everybody's aware, we are not going to be going to like Walmart or Claire's or anything like that to get her ears pierced. We are going to be going to a legitimate jeweler's to get it done because I want to make sure that it's done right. I want to make sure that she doesn't get an infection. And I want to go somewhere that is experienced with doing that. I don't want somebody inexperienced trying to pierce my child's ears. So if you guys have any suggestions, like I said, please leave it down in the comments below. And then as we get a little closer to time, I can start looking into that to see price-wise what it looks like. And then also, you know, which area or which place would be the best option for us. So we will be taking care of that probably after that point. But that's a little update for you guys on Novalee and her first month. I will be doing future videos of like our favorite baby products, our must-haves, that kind of things that I thought were a complete waste. So be sure to keep an eye out for those. If you guys have not already, be sure to follow us on our Instagram, which is at Ashley_Elyse19, which I'll have up here in the video for you guys as well. So be sure to go and follow us over there because I post on there about new videos that are going to be coming out, updates, little Nova updates as well, and then, you know, just general stuff. And then also be sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already. The subscribe button is down below. It's big, red, white letters. You can't really miss it. Sorry about that. We got cut off. Anyways, so go follow us on Instagram, subscribe down below, leave your comments, suggestions, questions, any videos you guys would like to see. And then also, subscribing for you guys is free. There's no charge for it or anything like that. It just really helps out my channel, so I would love for you guys to subscribe and join the family. We really have appreciated all of the love and support we've received from you guys, and we continue to look forward to growing with you guys and learning more. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's video, and we will see you guys for next week's video on Monday. Bye!